Just 1 second, and then we can get going.
All right.
All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Good deal. So you're at work right now, right?
Yes, I'm at work right now. Yes.
What do you do for work?
I work for Intel, the chip manufacturing company.
The global giant Intel.
Yes.
What do you do there?
I'm an engineer.
Okay.
I'm an electrical engineer.
Okay. Fun stuff. So how long have you been doing that for?
Now 7.5 years.
Good deal. And where is your office out of? Where are you physically located?
I am in Portland, Oregon.
Okay. So are you already a real estate investor, or are you thinking about becoming one? Where are you at right now?
So I started real estate investment side of my business in 2016, early fall, like August, September timeframe last year. So it's going to be almost a year in next month.
What are you working on? Are you working on fix and flips, wholesaling, buy and hold? What is your kind of focus?
Focus is fix and flip.
Okay, cool. And I'm assuming you're doing that in the Oregon market?
Yes, locally here, yes.
Okay, and is it Portland, or where specifically are you doing business?
Portland Metro.
Okay.
Portland proper and a couple of the neighborhoods around. So you can say almost in 5 to 10 mile radius from the downtown Portland.
And I'm assuming that you're full-time at Intel, right?
I'm full-time at Intel, yes.
Okay, cool. Are you looking to become a full-time real estate investor or make it a really good part-time income?
The end goal is to reach parity with my current income and become a full-time real estate investor.
Okay. And so since September, October, when you started, what have you done thus far?
So what I did was, I started learning about real estate investing, wholesaling, fix and flip in August last year. And so after that, like first 3 months to 4 months, basically I spent on my education.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken a lot of courses. I've actually been to, a couple of bus tours through a couple of other agencies. So that have actually given me a lot of information and a lot of material to work with. So I started putting offers out in November last year, 2016.
Okay. Offers on properties that are currently listed?
The properties that are currently listed through MLS, or they are pocket listings through my team of realtors.
Okay. And are you focused on anything specific? Are you focused on HUDs or foreclosures or anything specific when you're making offers?
Not anything specific. Anything that is either on the MLS through a realtor, or is for sale by owner, and it comes as a pocket listing to me through my realtors.
Okay. So how is that marketing strategy working for you right now?
So the marketing strategy worked pretty well. I had 6 realtors that I worked with. Now I only have 4. Couple of them didn't like putting multiple offers in at the same time. They were like, your normal realtor, they want to just put one offer in and they want you to close on it.
Yep.
So those 2 are not with me. I still have 4 individual realtors that work with the different brokerage firms that bring me deals. So on an average per month, I'm putting in, I'll say 8 to 10 offers out.
Okay. And how many are you getting accepted every month?
So between November, December, and January this year, we got five offers accepted.
Okay. Did you close on all 5 or?
No. So this is where I got stuck.
Yep.
Because the money that I had, so let me start a little bit one step far. Like how do I get where I am?
Yep.
So the education that I have invested in last early part of fall 2016, I used some of the money that I have in savings, and a lot more was just on credit cards that I had, some limit on.
Yep.
Um, so I used all of the savings and the money I have for my education.
Yep.
So now when it came to doing some sort of gap funding for my deals, that's where I got stuck, just because I just don't think I have enough relationships and contacts with the right people, or I don't know enough right people to put my deals in front of to get some sort of gap funding. So
Yep.
on those five properties, we ended up transferring two to another buyer, and wholesaling the other three to other investors in the area.
That's great. So how did you do on the ones that you wholesaled on average?
On an average, my assignment fee was $3,000.
Okay, so you made a little bit of money, so that's
Yeah,
definitely a positive.
yeah, because my intent when I went into those deals wasn't to wholesale. I wanted to keep those deals in and wanted to flip. Basically fix and flip myself.
Mhm.
So I basically used up all my due diligence period to actually get gap funds. Um,
So was
and
that your plan the entire time, is to try to raise money for the down payment?
Yes, that was my plan the whole time. Yes.
Okay. And so you let two go, you wholesaled three.
hmm
What have you done since then? Have you paused on making offers, or have you continued to make offers?
I continue to make offers, but I have reduced my the number of offers I do now. I only do like one or two.
What was the reason for reducing the number?
Just because I thought I was getting stuck on finding gap funds, and a couple of my realtors were getting antsy with me not closing on those deals
Mm,
myself. Even though they were getting paid, whenever I wholesaled the property, the buyer closed on it, so they got paid. So they didn't
mhm.
have too much heartburn with it, but they were still kind of like, hey, you are just wholesaling, so when are you going to be closing on the property? So they got a little antsy. So I was like, okay, guys, let me figure this funding out first, and then we'll turn the tap on full blow.
Okay. So those deals that you ended up wholesaling and you made a few thousand each on, what
hmm
would you have made if you fixed and flipped them based on your calculations?
Based on my calculations, they have anywhere between 18 to 22% ROI. But putting that into dollar amounts, if I was able to find a decent gap fund investor for those deals, and those deals were needing anywhere between 80 to 120,000 in gap funds. And
Mhm.
if we split the profit 50-50 with the gap funder, we each could have made anywhere between 28 to 40,000 per property.
So you're saying on these deals, the net would have been 60,000 plus.
Yes.
What was the purchase price? What was the renovation? What was the ARV roughly?
So on the two I let go, so my purchase price on those two was 415 and 420.
Okay. And then what would the ARV have been roughly?
The ARV on those properties were 680 to 750.
Okay. And is that middle of the road, higher end? What is that in the Portland market?
In those areas, because they are like within 5 miles of the downtown, and they are very good areas, so that's their average or little bit above average price of a home in there.
Okay. So when did you start ramping down the amount of offers you were making?
March this year.
Okay. And so what has the plan been from March until today?
um, Actually, bad news. I So whatever I made on those three properties that I assigned, I lost all that money trying to find gap funds or loans.
What do you
Um,
mean? How did you lose money trying to find funding?
Now let me tell you, I didn't have any experience on how to do this, so I guess made bad judgment calls. So I worked through this company called Connected Investor.
Yep.
I have a membership for their website. So they advertise this website called CIX.
Okay.
Basically where they say, hey, you put in your deals and they will link you up with investors, right?
Yep.
So I put my stuff in there, and I got a few hits back where couple of guys came back and said, hey, yeah, we are more interested. We are more than willing to interested in funding your deals. But here are our terms and conditions. So I looked at their terms and conditions. Their interest was around 8%. No points upfront other than the processing fee that they published. So I was like, okay, guys, I'll do that. So I started talking with them. They sent me some paperwork online to sign, signed it, and then the time came for me to put the document processing fee down, which I did. And I was looking for anywhere between 150 to 300K as a gap fund or as a loan. So the processing fee was close to 24 to 2900. So I put that down, but none of those deals went through. After the money went into their accounts, I wired it. I didn't send it through through Western Union on MoneyGram. Everything went through bank to bank wires, but apparently they were just scamming people.
And have you been able to talk to Connected Investor about that at all, or what is the so is Connected Investor is just kind of a broker, I'm assuming, right?
That's what they feel like. That's what they are. I mean, they basically say that, hey, these lenders that are coming to the CIX website are screened. They are legitimate lenders. So you go in there, you put your information in, you say what you're looking for. Here's the property, here's the purchase price, here's the ARV. You put that in, and then you basically get contacted by investors through an email. And these are just independent investors. They don't work for Connected Investor. They don't do any business with them. So after on both of those, with both of those guys, I lost almost $8,000.
So there were two different companies that were potentially going to be lending to you?
Yeah, there were two potential private lenders. They presented themselves as private lenders.
And so did that happen simultaneously, that one after the other, or?
It happened one after the other.
Okay. And so after the money, after they said they were going to lend to you, you just never heard from them again?
Yeah, never heard from them. One of the guys' email stopped working. I can't even send him emails. His phone, he never picks up.
Wow, that is crazy. I have heard of similar things. Not exactly the same. I've heard of companies that will say that they'll do the gap funding, they'll do the lending, they make you pay like a $500 processing fee, and then they just never lend. And essentially they're charging the $500 or the $1,000, and then they never end up lending on the deal. And that's their whole business model, is that they get people in that need the money and they pay these fees, and then they just say, oh, the deal's not good enough. But I've never heard of it happening where there was just no response whatsoever.
Yeah, and then when I contacted the Connected Investor saying, guys, I got, contacted by these guys, and they're saying that, hey, they saw my request through CIX website. They contacted me, and their response was, yeah, contact your local authorities. There's nothing we can do. Thanks for sending that email addresses to us. We'll make sure that we basically block them.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. I mean, I could definitely see that becoming a big issue for that company, because obviously if it happened to you, it's definitely happening to other people. And
to be honest with you, let me tell you further what happened, right? So one of these guys, now I've only talked to these two guys. So this is what happened. I have a LinkedIn profile because I work at Intel. So I got contacted by a few people from different states. One guy was from New Orleans. Other guy was somewhere in Virginia. they're saying, "Hey, are you a lender?" I was like, "Why are you asking me that?" They're like, "So it wasn't you who called us, last week?" I was like, "No." Like, "Oh, somebody's using your information." So as part of talking to these guys, they asked me for my ID, right? So apparently now they're using my ID to scam more people.
Wow, man, connected investor for sure is going to end up having issues because, you basically made a decision based on them. You were really trusting them to vet
Yeah.
the person.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was.
yeah, so they're definitely going to end up getting sued for sure. That's going to, I don't know how I don't even know how they could monitor that though. That just seems like a really tough thing to even,
Yeah.
keep.
They have all these disclaimers, dude. I know there's a lot of fine print that goes on this, right? But
Yeah.
okay, you are in the business and you're advertising. It looks like this connected investor thing is not some small mom and pop shop.
No. So I've heard of connected investing. I didn't know what they did, to be completely honest with you, but I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen them on Bigger Pockets. I've seen them in a bunch of different areas. I've just never reached out to them. So I've heard of them. They definitely appear to be a large entity. They might be a large entity.
Yeah.
But man, that's crazy.
So that's what has happened. So I still haven't cracked this gap funding, problem or a roadblock that I have. Now, what I've done in addition to just doing this online, I go to a lot of local RIAs now or meetup groups now. I go to 2 RIAs here, 2 meetup groups. I just go talk to people and show them my investor packages. So for all the properties I have under contract, I created investor packages to give to people to show them what was the potential opportunity in each deal. And it had the address, the purchase price, the ARV, what was my rehab, what was my potential profit. If we 50-50 split it, this is how it is going to be. What was my scope of work for my rehab? The rehab quote was included in that. I have properties within half a mile. My comps listed there, shown on the map, on the Google Maps for them. So I had these packages that I will give to people saying, "Hey, here's this potential opportunity. I would love to do a JV or a gap funding partnership with you guys." So I send those. I take those with myself, and I go to the RIAs and I present those to people. And sometimes you get, you always get a positive response, but it never came. Nothing never ever came to fruition.
So how difficult is it in your market to get a deal like that? The deal where you're going to make 60,000 on a flip.
Just give me 1 second. Looks like the light auto shut off. There you go.
Yeah.
So in last year, it looks like it wasn't that hard. I was right out of MLS, and just with the pocket listings, I was getting like 4 to 5 deals forwarded to me by each realtor. And now some overlapped, like sometimes they have the same deal sent to me by two realtors. But since March, it hasn't gotten a little bit difficult. There are not that many listings on MLS that has that kind of a spread. So now I only get like maybe 1 or 2 from each realtor every week. So I get like 3 or 4 deals a week from realtors.
So I'm surprised that you were even able to get these deals on the MLS last year.
Oh, okay.
Every market's a little bit different, but I haven't been able to buy a property that was listed online in about 3 years. What I was going to say is some markets you still can, but it's kind of few and far between. And I think, maybe your market was a little bit slower to react, but I think what you're seeing is pretty typical.
Got it.
So in terms of who you wholesaled the deals to, so obviously you had 3 deals that you wholesaled to. Who were those people? Were they people you had relationships with, or how did that go?
So the way I found those guys was just Googling, we buy houses, just
Yep.
Googled, we buy houses. And the other thing I did, and I'm glad I did that. I spent $5 on fiber.com and asked somebody to create a list for me for all the people locally here in Portland, Oregon that buy houses for cash.
And you did that by just Google searching?
Yeah, I did that by Google searching first, and then I paid. I went on Fiverr.com.
Yep.
And paid somebody like $5, and they gave me a list of 20 to 30 contacts.
But they got them just by going through Google, you're saying, right? No?
I'm pretty sure that's what they did too.
Oh, okay, good.
They were more efficient Googlers than I was.
Yep. So the people that you wholesale them to, how did you come up with the $3,000? Like how did you come up with that figure?
It's a good question. So this is what I did. So when I was taking those education courses, right, most of them said, hey, the typical wholesaling fee is $5,000.
Yep.
That's what I have been taught from day one. That if you are a wholesaler, your typical average assignment fee is $5,000 per property.
Okay.
So because I was getting so close to due diligence period on those properties, so I was just more than happy so I can get my EMD out of those properties.
Yeah.
So I just went with 3, and the people agreed with 3. So I assigned it for 3.
So you were the one that set the 3,000?
Yes, I was the one who said 3,000. Yes.
Okay, because I mean, if you've got 60K profit, 70K profit in a deal, like so 5,000. I mean, I would even say that's low. I don't even think that's, to me, in a city like ours. Like you're in Portland, I'm in Boston. When you're talking about a $350,000 property, $5,000 is nothing. And $3,000 is really, I mean, it has no impact on the deal. It's 1% of whatever the deal is. So
I mean, that's why I didn't experience any pushback from anybody. Now, again, I was more than happy.
Yes.
Call my inexperience just getting my EMD out of those properties.
Exactly. Now, but those people, did you deal with them a lot? I mean, did you get to know them at all? Do you know if they made money on the deal?
No, I didn't know them. Not a whole lot, other than I contacted them, and then I met them at one of the meetup groups. And the other guy I met at one of the it's a realtor company. They do a lot of auctions and stuff. I just went to their monthly investor meeting once, and I met few people there. And that was the guy who I ended up wholesaling to. So I met them there. I didn't know much about them on a personal level, other than that's what they did. I presented my deal in that meeting that was held at that realtor's office. I had a good relationship with that realtor. So she was like, yeah, I'm not able to find any gap funders for you. Do you want to come to my monthly investor meeting and present your deal? So I went in there and presented my deal. There were like 30 people there. And this guy contacted me from that meeting. And then I talked to realtor like, hey, this guy contacted me. What do you think about these guys? I was like, yeah, they are our regular wholesalers. They do fix and flips too, but they wholesale a lot of properties too. Like, okay, so I just I guess assigned it to them, and they closed on the property. So I think they ended up fixing and flipping themselves.
So I guess my question would be for you. There's definitely going to be a good amount of work that you're going to have to put forth to get this off the ground. And it looks like you've already put a lot of work into it. What's your main motivation for all this?
So in order to answer that question, let me tell you how I got here. So if you can't really tell, I am from India. I came to US in 2007. I had an engineering bachelor's degree from India. My parents are school teachers. They have been teaching. My dad has been teaching math in high school for 30 plus years, and my mom teaches social sciences. So when I was done with my bachelor's, I have a option of either working in India or coming here for education. So my parents, whatever they had in their, we call it GPF in India, is basically like 401k. They basically took all that out, paid for my first quarter's tuition, bought me a plane ticket, and gave me $2,700 and sent me here. So I came here with $27 and my first quarter's fee for my university. And then after that, I have to just figure out on my own how to fund my education. So I was lucky enough to get opportunities during my college career to either teach undergrads or do something else on campus, because I wasn't allowed to work off campus because I was international student. That's the visa I had. So I was able to fund my studies after right out of grad school. I joined Intel in 2010. So money was okay. Job pays well. But my parents came here in 2011. They immigrated here. So they live here now. I have bought them house in 2014. I got married in 2015. I bought a house now. Have a 1-year-old boy. So I have basically 2 mortgages and two families to support. My income from Intel is enough to support that, but I don't have any savings. I'm not able to save anything. So I've been working at Intel for 7.5 years now. I had very little to show for it, and whatever I had, I invested in the education for real estate. So that's my motivation. I want to pay off my parents' house so that that's not a burden on me moving forward. And then I want a different lifestyle than what I have right now, at this job.
Okay, so in a perfect world, would you be working at Intel and making some really good money on the side with real estate investing, or would you be doing real estate investing every single day?
Perfect world, I will be doing the real estate investing every single day. Yes.
Okay, so it's not only that you want to make more money, but it's that you want that as a career.
Yes.
Because that's going to change what I'm going to say. Because at the end of the day, when you start off and you don't have a lot of money, it makes things a lot slower.
Yeah.
So when you have money, the only difference between someone who has money and someone who doesn't have money is the speed at which they can move in the very early stages.
You're absolutely, and I've learned that now.
Yep. So when I started, I had no money. I mean, I had $5,000 in my bank account. I was in my early 20s. My parents didn't have money. So I needed to figure out a way to get it done. And there's a path to do it, but it's just longer. So the reason I asked you all the questions about like what you want to do is because if you just told me I want to make more money, period, and I don't love real estate investing, I probably would have said you probably could just put more time and effort into Intel and end up, maybe, close to the same place. But given that you want to do real estate investing full time, that's changing what I'm thinking. So the reason I asked about the people who you wholesale the deals to is because you've been asking for 50% equity on these deals.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like it's been attractive enough for the people who have the money to do the deal with you.
Yeah. So a couple of people who I met, I got my hard money lender and my realtor were very helpful in putting me in touch with people who gap lend. So I have met with four different people who they have their own real estate investment business. They have their own, private funds. that they invest in their own properties. So I went and talked with them, introduced myself. The number one objection that I get in those meetings is one, how are you going to manage this? You have a full-time job. How are you going to do it? Right? I have an answer for that. So I told them, guys, the way I plan on doing this is I'm going to have a project manager. So that's one of my realtors is a GC and have their business model is a realtor, GC, and an interior designer plus PM in a box. Mm-hmm. That's their business model.
Okay.
So that's what I was trying to tell them, like, guys, this is how I'm going to manage this. Yeah, I don't have enough experience, but this is how I'm going to supplement it. But then they said that then everybody keeps saying that, but you have never worked with your GCs. Your GC team is too green. How do you want us to trust your GCs?
Yeah.
I don't really have a response for that.
Yeah.
Other than me working with them once. And I've screened my GCs. I've looked at the CCB numbers and their background, if they have any opening cases or litigations against them. Some of them came recommended through the realtors. I still did. I personally met them. I have seen their work. I have visited their current jobs to see what's the quality of their work. So I've done what I think I can do. Maybe there's more that I should do, which I haven't done. But it's like me finding a job right out of college. Everybody wanted somebody with experience, but I will never have experience if somebody never gave me a job.
So here's how I would get around that. And the one thing I think you could have done right out of the gate is the people who you ended up wholesaling this deal for $3,000 to. Yeah. Obviously, at that point, for you, it wasn't about the money. You wanted to get your EMD back. You wanted to get out of the deal. Yeah. But would any of those people have been flexible enough to cut you in, even at a very small profit share, do you think?
I don't know. The thing is, that's one thing I didn't ask them, to be honest with you.
And I think, the thing is, like you're kind of talking about, getting the experience and having people being willing to lend to you. I think you need to get cut into some of these deals, even if it's a very small amount, but then have that for your resume. This is your deal. The only reason that you weren't kind of doing everything is because of the fact you didn't have the money. Yeah. And I think anybody who lends to you, it doesn't matter who it is, a gap fund or a hard money lender, everybody wants to lend to somebody with experience because the failure rate is the highest on the first deal. Yeah. Because again, like you doing homework on whether or not they have pending litigation, all that kind of stuff. Honestly, that stuff doesn't matter. It's, the guys that we work with them forever, and people with a clean record could do something bad and vice versa. So I think you need to get cut into some sort of deal, even if it's at a really, really low percentage or whatever, and then add that to your resume. So I think one of the things that I like that you did was when you're out presenting these deals, you already put together a package for the ones where there was a profit on it. Yep. I think one thing you should do is follow that through, right? And follow through to see what they ended up making. Okay. So if you can reach back out to those people, which I'd be surprised if they wouldn't, allow you to talk to them, I would meet with them and I would explain all of the stuff to them, every single thing that you're telling me. Yeah. And explain to them that you're willing to do a lot of because getting a good deal is the hardest part, right? Yeah. I mean, no matter what anybody tells you, getting a good deal is actually the most important and hardest part. Yeah. So if you're willing to do that, if someone was willing to do that for me in the Boston market, oh man, I mean, if I could cut you in at 20%, I mean, that's a great deal for me. I mean, I spend more than that on marketing for all of my deals. So if I had somebody that was willing to put in the time, effort, and energy, I don't care if you put your stamp on the deal saying it's yours, as long as I'm controlling 90% of it and it was a good deal, I mean, I'd be all for it. Yeah. So I think instead of you trying to wholesale them, I would try to get cut in some way.
Yeah.
just so that you can, you can get that credit. And also as part of that deal, you should have some involvement in the project management, even if it's at a very, very low level.
Yep. Yeah.
So that you can kind of get some experience. And then, I mean, now, in your opinion, based on the gap funders that you talk to, say that you had two deals, say that the two deals or three deals that you wholesaled, that you had some minimal involvement on those deals. Do you think if you went to them, do you think they would have lent to you?
Probably. I mean,
yeah,
they bought the deal, right? So they did their homework, and they saw what I saw in the deal, or something close to that. That's how they bought it. So they were good deals. So you're right. If I would have at that time gone to them and asked, see if they were gonna gap land at a very small, percentage of the equity at the back end, that might have worked. You're right. I didn't really have all my options, in front of me. I guess, to be honest with you, Tom, I just panicked at that time, man.
Yep.
I mean, I had, so this is what I did. I have a HELOC on my, I got the HELOC approved on my primary residence, got 28K as a HELOC. Out of the 28, got 20 out. And that's what I was putting as a EMD on those properties, because EMD on those properties were anywhere between 3K to 5K.
Now, we've been talking a lot about properties, in the mid threes. Is that kind of the lower, like, can you do deals where there would be a lower down payment required, or do you? Because the other thing I'm thinking is, like, it seems like you're going after deals that you do need a lot of money. Have you tried to go after ones where you might be able to put a little bit less down?
So, that's what I thought too. I thought maybe I'm looking at too close to downtown. I need to expand my search area, go away from Portland proper, and see if I can get better deals. The deals with those kind of margins in those areas are very, very hard to find, or at least my realtors were not either sending me deals that were like that, or there weren't any. And whatever was there with the good profit margin, the days on market were like 40.
Mm-hmm.
40
as compared to what?
As compared to 10,
okay.
8, 2.
Yeah.
As compared to anything less than 15, their days on market in those areas were like 40, 45, 50 days.
Well, that's still nothing, though. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit bigger, but I mean, 40 days on market is really not a lot.
See, I didn't know. I've been, again, like I said, I only know what I have learned by just on my own, or through the classes and other coachings that I have been through, right? So I've been told that I have to keep my days on market under 20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the further you get from the major metro area, the less demand there's going to be, the longer the days on market. But if you look at the numbers, whether the property goes under agreement in a day or 40 days, it doesn't really change your profit very much.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's pretty insignificant. So in the markets that you're talking about, where there's a little bit longer days on market, what are you looking at for purchase prices?
The purchase prices, if I go anywhere between 20 miles of Portland area, they come down to purchase price somewhere between 210 to 245.
Okay, so that still doesn't really solve the problem, though.
Correct. It doesn't. I mean, okay, It was 245, and I was at 415, and one of the properties was at 390 that I was able to get.
Yeah.
And the other thing, Tom, that I try. I mean, I think I tried hard. And this is something I learned through one of the coachings. In order to have people have better faith in the deal and in my valuation, I also got subject to repair appraisals on 2 properties. I think that's what helped me wholesale those properties.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would help. I think a real investor probably doesn't need that. I mean, like for
I
me,
understand.
yeah, for me, like if someone brings me an appraisal, I mean, this is going to probably sound arrogant, but I feel like I'm a better appraiser than the appraiser
I understand.
because like I'm putting my money into it, and they're working their job, and me, I'm winning or losing my own money based on whether or not that deal is profitable. And I think that most investors would feel the same way.
Yeah.
Although when someone hands me an appraisal, I absolutely look at it. And we do like all of the like most of our deals we fund with commercial lending. So we're
Yeah.
putting down 20 or 25%, and a commercial lender is lending to us, and they require an appraisal. And every single time I look at it, because I want to know because I'm running my numbers before the appraisal gets done, and I'm looking to
Yeah.
see what do they think. And
I mean, you're absolutely right, because I did the same thing, right? I mean, the properties that I had, they were gonna get funded through hard money lenders. So all my deals were now, our hard money lenders here in Portland don't require appraisals because we don't have enough appraisers in the area. The Portland market, and I learned it, as hard way too, because I was told that it's not that hard to get subject to repair appraisals, but I contacted 70 appraisers in the area, and none of them have time. Even though I paid them expedited fee somewhere between $1,500 appraiser, appraisal, they still wasn't able to do appraisals for me for here. So none of my hard money lenders, which are local here, require appraisals. They do their own appraisal using AVM or something else inside their company. And when I submitted my to hard money lenders, they either were very close to my ARV, or on one deal, their ARV was higher than the ARV I was presenting.
Yeah, and you they were probably right. Sometimes, when you're in the beginning stages, sometimes you actually undervalue, what the ARV is. I did that a lot in the beginning. I'm going to guess you're probably a pretty conservative guy, so I'm not too surprised that happened. But so, I mean, what are the people now? You talked about you've done some coaching and stuff like that. What are they recommending that you do right now? Because I know what I would say, but I'm just curious. What's the other opinions that you're getting?
So everybody is basically saying is I have to put myself in front of more people. I need to advertise my deals on Facebook. I need to advertise my deals in a lot more other meetup groups. I need to have some sort of a squeeze page that I develop my buyer list, and then advertise my deals to them. Need to have for my deals that I had. I think on last one I posted on Facebook. Now when I told them that that's what I did, you asked me to do it, so I did it. They were like, "What did you do?" Like, I went in, I created my investor package, and I posted my investor package. Right? They were like, "Okay, then what?" Like, I got maybe 5 responses. Like, okay, then when did you do it again? Or like, I didn't do it again. They were like, "Oh yeah, you need to post it twice a day," because
You're posting it on your own page or in some sort of group?
It's some sort of groups like wholesalers or investors and like Facebook communities,
Yep. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't posting it on your own page, because, I mean, obviously that's only going to have the reach of the people that know you already. So you definitely want to put it in the groups. But I would strategically go after that list that you had of the 20 or 25 people. I would strategically go after every single one of those. And
Okay.
I would try your best. They may not be willing to meet with you one-on-one, but I would try to get at least a phone conversation with them. Try to do your best of explaining all this, and ask them what percentage they would do to cut you in. And I think the reason 20 minutes ago I asked you, really what's at the heart of you wanting to do this is because you're probably going to have to do a lot of these deals where I don't want to say you're working for free, but you're not working for free, but you're almost like an apprentice.
Yeah.
And I think that's the relationship that you're going to need to have in order to get where you need to go. And then after you do, I mean, even possibly after you do your first one, that gap funder might fund you, but it might take two, it might take three. But I think you need to somehow get some of these done. Have you also, what about the contacts at your work? Is anybody else interested in doing this that might have some funding, might have some capital? And
dude, that's one thing I haven't done, and I have been deliberately not approaching that. One, I work with these people, and second, I'm new, and then I don't want to,
I didn't know
somebody else. I rather.
So I was more thinking somebody that you had maybe a friendship with, or not really necessarily like going around pitching your coworkers, but sometimes you may or may not have told other people about this kind of stuff at your work.
I have not.
Okay.
I have not.
So if you had, and there were people in there that, because it's very common that people want to do this. People wanting to become real estate investors is pretty common. So, you definitely have people at your company who would be good to pitch this to, but it's a delicate situation. And I don't think it's as simple as you going around and pitching your whole company.
My plan was to get one under my belt.
Yes.
And to have an example. People at Intel are very data driven. So if I have data and proof, I can get a lot more people on my side. So my plan is to just get one under my belt, but that's where I'm struggling.
And I think so. It all goes back to like that big domino is getting that first one done. And that first one, even if, on the deal that you made you shouldn't have made 3,000 on that. I'll just say that you should have made probably 10 on that. So on that deal where you made 10, you were essentially making maybe 20% of the profits. So even if you went to that investor and said, you know what, cut me in for 15% of the profits, I just want to be a fly on the wall, get somewhat involved with this thing. I'll do whatever you ask me to do. I'll work for free. I'll help you. I'm not going to get, involved. I'm not going to try to pick out paint colors. Or I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I need this to go on my resume. And I think that if you had three people that bought the deals from you, I think at least one of them would have been willing to do it. And especially I would go back to those three people if they're three different people. And I would say, how'd you do? I would first call them, say, how'd you do on the deal? Was it a good deal? How much did you make? Can you share some information with me? And then tell them you're looking to break into this. This is what I'm proposing. And that's really, you're proposing a deal that's actually really in their favor. It's not even like a fair deal for you. So, but I think that you need to propose a deal that is unfair for you in the beginning to get to that next level. And then once you do your first one, like the work that you put in to get where you've already got is a lot harder than what's going to happen once you actually get your first deal out of the way. Because once you do one, I mean, even if you made 40 instead of 60 or 70, that will springboard you, because now you're going to have enough money for a down payment possibly on the next one. And then the more deals you do, the more people that will lend to you. It's kind of it's kind of unfortunate, because when you need this is how it is in any lending. The more you need the money, the less the lender wants to lend to you. And the less you need the money, it's true. I mean, we have people all the time. Like I was every single day I was out trying to find money in the beginning, and nobody wanted to lend to me. And now where I don't need the money, I get people. I got 2 emails today. Someone wants to lend me 50,000. Someone wants to lend me 60,000. And that's like at the bottom of my pile, because I don't need the money that much. And it's not important to me right now, because I've already raised enough money. But
I understand, man. I understand what you're saying. It all makes sense. And right now, that's my block. And this is one thing. The trainings I have, or the education that I invested in, really boosted my learning curve. Now, one thing that I think that was either intentionally or unintentionally was overlooked was securing the funding part. To be honest with you, I think I underestimated it. I thought if I had a good deal, that's all I needed. And if I go in front of 10 people, one will lend me something. That was the mistake I made. And I guess I never really I still haven't fully realized how to get it. Now I have watched a lot more educational webinars where they talk about private lending and
Well,
securing.
let me tell you how I do it. And I've raised over $10 million of private capital in the last 5 years.
Mm.
When I finish a project, I have an
Yeah.
open house there. And so I do, you said you've been to a lot of meetups, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to type this into the chat box, but if you go to www.oceancitymeetup.com, I'm just going to type this in. So that's the meetup group that I run.
Okay.
And at every single one of those events, they're held at the properties that I renovate. And I purposely hold them there. And I purposely put a real estate investing topic. So the real estate investing topic that I did was, basically something like, how to do, 3 deals a month, in your first year, whatever. It's a topic that people are interested in. And then I speak about it. And then at the end, I'm always saying, by the way, we're also looking to raise capital. And then I go into the terms, which we pay out 1% per month. We pay out 12% annualized. These are the types of deals I do. So a lot of people who want to get into real estate investing don't really want to do the project management and don't want to actually hunt down the deal.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will look into it and they'll say, I don't want to manage contractors. I don't want to be out there hunting for deals all the time. And a lot of those people end up turning into lenders because they do want to invest in real estate, but they don't want to do the active portion of it.
Yeah.
So, I do those once a month, and about every other event, I get somebody who's willing to lend to me.
Got it.
But again, I'm using my house that I've just renovated as kind of the showcase and saying,
yes.
They're inside, they did a nice job.
Yep.
The great thing about real estate is people can see the numbers. So,
yep.
People, when they go there, they're like, oh, what did he pay for that? Oh, what did he sell it for? And then they're able to calculate right then and there, for the most part, what my profit was. And it gives me a big boost. I'm already getting authority. I'm talking about the subject. I have a property that I'm flipping. And if I get 30 people at the event, one of them is probably going to think, oh, you know what, that might be a good idea. And then I end up meeting with them. And that's how I've gotten 90% of the funds I've raised. The other 10% have been friends and family. And a lot of those people in the very, very early on stages were helping me get deals funded, but they had limited funds and that really did not propel me very far.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
no, see, that's my hesitation just there is, I think friends and family can help me. Mm-hmm. It just this, I have this personal block, you can say, is like, I don't want to go to friends and family or my co-workers, and to ask for money.
So do you think you could get funding from them right now?
I think I can. It just I think I can. It's just convincing myself to go to them.
I think if you're going to do that, you need to make sure it's a home run deal.
Got it.
Right, and just make sure that it's such a good deal that no one can lose money and that you feel comfortable with it. But yeah, I mean, that's where a lot of people start. And now it's like, I don't even tell my friends and family that I look for money, and they come to me and, like I'm always like, I'm not a salesperson, so I don't pitch it or whatever. And, for a lot of people, it makes sense. I mean, you have a hard asset that they're lending on. You've got it for much lower than market value, and they don't have a lot of good alternatives of where else to put their money.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think if you do it and you do pitch it, just make sure it's a home run deal.
Fair
But
enough.
that would be the quickest way for you. I didn't know that was even a potential option.
Yeah, I've tried, dude. I think every option I can think of, I've tried it, or I'm trying to get there, right? I've tried like the courses I have taken, right? There are people there. They're either the mentors or they are the one teaching the class. I told them, guys, they are not local here, and I told them, what if I do the groundwork for you? I'll
Mm-hmm.
bring you the deal. I'll bring all the deals to you. I mean, you are the one who taught me the system. I worked through your system. I'm using your system to evaluate the deals. I'm bringing you the deals. Why don't you partner with me? Or just, I don't know, like you said, cut me in. Like, don't even give me part of the equity. Give me something small amount of money, like an assignment fee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just keep me with you. Right? And the objection that I get there is like, no, I can't work with students. I can't work with students. I can't really work with students.
Is the company that you're working with, the coaching company, are they national?
They are national, yes.
What about trying to tap into the people that they have that they're working with in your market?
Oh, the local community?
Yeah.
Yes, so that's the other thing I have explored. So with that coaching came the Facebook page of the people who are in that community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the gap funding methodology that they taught. That
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm going to give you access to this community. There are a lot of people here who are lending money, so you just post your deals here, right?
Mm-hmm.
You will find somebody. So what I did there, so when I became part of that community, I posted there saying, hey, this is my name. I'm out of Portland, Oregon. I'm going to do, fix and flip deals here. I'm looking for gap partners. If you are interested, please leave your email address, right? So a lot of people left their email address. I think I got like 35 emails from there.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I got those deals under contract, I send my investor packages to those 30 people. Now, out of those 30, I get responses back from 6 or 7. Some didn't really have money available at that time. They were like, sorry, dude, I like your deal. This is a great deal. My money is, invested in this time. Or the others said, I only got 10K or I got 20K. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started thinking, okay, maybe I can have 2 or 3 gap funders. Then
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know how complicated that's going to be, or how am I gonna manage that JV agreement? I didn't know. So then I backed out of that option. So that's the other thing I have done. It's just I'm not able to get my feet wet on this one deal.
I'm not going to lie to you. You have put in much more effort than the average person who says that they're having a tough time. But the only thing that I think you haven't explored that I think that I would go after is those people that you already did the deals with, and
Okay.
getting more deals and bringing them to them.
Fair enough.
And even if you keep getting shut down and you keep wholesaling deals to them,
Yeah.
at some point you're going to get enough leverage where they're going to pay attention to you.
Fair enough.
So I think that to me would be kind of the not last, but that would be the best option. Or go into the friends and family, which I know, you're not a huge fan of doing, but if the deal is right and you're really confident in it and everything looks good, so can you ramp up making more offers or no?
I think I can. I can get more realtors. I know how to train realtors. I know how to train them to find deals. I know I have intentionally ramped down because I feel like I'm just letting my team down by not doing these deals myself. That's what I felt.
What team?
So basically my team so I have, I started with 6 realtors and 3 GCs, that I have personally met with them and explained to them what kind of deals I'm looking, which areas I'm looking, what I'm going to do, what level of rehab I'm going to do. So they were the ones who are bringing the deals to me. So that's what I meant by a team.
So what made you think that you were letting them down? Because I mean, as a real estate agent, if you get a deal closed, I mean, there's a lot of buyers out there that don't get anything closed. You know, you
I
take.
So I think what I felt was now nobody directly came out and said this to me, but all of a sudden, like the guy after the third deal, like I walked out of the two deals with him, right?
Mhm.
Wasn't able to close. The third one I wholesaled. So he basically saw me as this failure. Like, hey, okay, he didn't close on two. The third one he wholesaled. Oh, he wholesaled to this guy. Oh, maybe I should just work with this guy. Then why I'm working with this guy?
Yeah.
You
Now,
know,
are you sure that that happened, or you think that could just be perception?
just based on the responses that I got on some of the texts, that's how I perceived
And
it. Now I didn't
are they still making
came
offers?
out of him, so
Are they still making offers for you?
no, those guys are the no those are the guys who are not those two guys. Though I told you that out of six, I only have four now.
Yeah. So did they just stop responding to you altogether?
Uh, hey, Tom, are you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah, you went silent for a second. So those couple people, they just stopped responding to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I just looked at my battery on the phone. It's down to 4%. So probably, and I didn't bring my charger with
that's
me.
all right. Well, I mean, we're kind of wrapping up anyways, but I think like I would definitely first of all with the realtor stuff, forget about that. I mean, someone that's getting disappointed that you're not buying the house, it doesn't matter. I mean, to me, that's the wrong real estate agent.
Got it.
I mean, real estate agents run around with people all the time that don't end up buying anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other thing I want to just hit real quickly, I know we don't have much time, but I think you should get your license
Okay.
because you should be in control of all these offers. I mean, if what's holding you back is basically somebody else making an offer for you, I think you should get your real estate license and you know control everything that you're doing. You
Okay.
can make the offers and not feel guilty about it. But I would definitely keep pushing to make more offers for those other four people, get a deal under contract, and then try to work in some sort of JV, even if it's at a discounted rate to those other people. But
Got it.
immediately, I would reach out to those people that you already wholesale the deal to, and even if you can buy them lunch or meet with them face to face, I think it's just a relationship that you need to develop in order to get to the next level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. That's what I think that I'm missing, So, and I'm not giving up, in no way, shape, or form, I'm still pushing forward. It's just the progress is slow now.
Yep, the beginning part of building any business is by far the worst.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, if you really want it, if this is really what you want, then you have to keep pushing forward. There's no two ways around it.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the effort that you're putting in, if you continue to do it, it's going to end up working out. But it's just you're not going to be able to predict when. So I think,
Fair.
just keep, plugging along and you've got my email. So whatever else you need help with, let me know. Are you in the Facebook group that you can ask questions?
No, I am not. I will apply for that access.
Yeah, you don't have to apply. I'm going to put it in the message right now. So if you go to www.questionsfortom.com,
Okay.
that's the Facebook group, and you can automatically join. And at
Okay.
any point, whatever you go right in there, ask me, and I'll get you, the best answer that I can.
Got it.
So keep plugging away, and let me know what else you need help with. And best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your time. I know how important is the time for somebody like you or a real estate investor, and you taking the time and talking to me, was really beneficial, and I am really appreciative of this call.
Not a problem at all. Your time is valuable too, so it was good to have you on, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks, Tom.
All right. Bye.
Bye.